Hello, awesome students. How are you? I hope all is good. Today, we are going to speak about monologue part 2. Monologue versus soliloquy. I get many questions about the difference between monologue and soliloquy. Many students they say, now, if we understand that monologue, as we said in part 1, is a single mono is single character, and this character is talking in a tragedy, play, or drama about his inner thoughts, or maybe he's addressing the audience or addressing another character. So, what's the difference between that and a soliloquy? We learned that in a soliloquy. Let's start our compare and contrast. Monologue versus soliloquy. Thanks to my graphic designer, he is amazing. Thank you. Okay, so what's a monologue? The character may be speaking his or her, maybe the character is a woman, like the narrator in Charlotte Bronte, Jane Eyre. His or her thoughts aloud to other people, which is the audience, readers, directly addressing another character or speaking to the audience about his or her thoughts. It's distinct from soliloquy. Soliloquy, which is where the character relates his or her thoughts and feelings to him or herself and to the audience without addressing any of the other characters. That's the first difference. So if I am not addressing any other character, just showing and talking out loud about my inner feelings as a character, also mono, single, that's a soliloquy. But if I address another one, and I'm going to take again the example of Hamlet, Macbeth, so clear for a monologue. What else can we learn? Let me move in here. Types of monologues first. Let's talk about types of monologues. There are 4 types of monologues. Interior monologue, dramatic monologue, which is actually my specialist. I'm so specialist in dramatic monologues, drama, play, tragedy. Active monologues, narrative monologues, which I love to read in my fun time. So interior monologues, dramatic monologues, active monologues, narrative monologues. For GCSE students, whether they are going to be tested in England or outside England, first language English, you need to know the 4 types, but you need to focus on dramatic monologues and narrative monologues. There are repetitive questions in all examples and exams. So if I am going to think about interior or dramatic monologue, what does this mean? Interior monologues involve a character extransly through thoughts so that the audience can witness experience that would otherwise be mostly internal. And many students, they are asking me, is that going to be a confusion in the POV? Well, it cannot be because the character is mono, single, and he's so clearly expressing externalizing his or her thoughts. So it's so clear. I can know what they're talking about. In contrast, a dramatic monologue involves one character speaking to another character. Like Macbeth, he was speaking about his enemy, which Banquo, as far as I remember, Banquo was in Macbeth. So Macbeth, when he had his monologue on theater in his drama, in his play, written by Shakespeare, of course he was talking and addressing Banquo. Oh, Banquo, oh, let's meet in heaven. He was expressing his thoughts in the monologue, and he was addressing Banquo, his enemy, in the monologue. And actually, he had like 2 or 3 monologues all through the play. What about active and narrative monologues? Second type. Monologues can also be divided along the lines of active and narrative. How? In an active monologue, a character is using their speech to achieve a clear goal. Yes, this is the active monologue. And I think this is also clear in Macbeth or Hamlet. Macbeth and Hamlet, both of them, and Charlotte Bronte actually, they were both using their speech, the monologue they are saying, to achieve a certain goal that they are maybe giving themselves kind of peace, internal peace, that they are going to win at the end, they are going to survive till defeat their enemies. That's what we call it, the active monologue. But the narrative monologue simply involve a character telling a story and can often be identified by the fact they are in by using the past tense. When you use the past tense, and be careful about the tenses of verbs and actions you are writing or you are using, because it becomes so confusing to the examiner and the audience and the readers if you are all of a sudden using future tense, or you are all of a sudden using present simple tense. No, usually when you are talking about narrative monologues, you are using the past tense to try to express, yes, your thoughts, yes, as a character, your inner feelings, but also to give a point that will happen as a kind of foreshadowing, maybe. Yes. So the question, then, what's the difference between monologue and soliloquy? Soliloquy. To understand the famous soliloquies in Hamlet, as an example, for example, and analyze them for aspects of the framework, you have to know, I'm sorry for the spelling again, it's autocorrect, you have to know what's a soliloquy. Soliloquy is a speech that one gives to oneself. I'm talking to myself. So do not tell me, okay, I'm talking to myself, single character, then it's a monologue. No, wait and check. Am I talking just to myself, not addressing another character? Am I just expressing what's going on? Okay, that's a soliloquy. But if I'm addressing another character, that's a monologue. In a play, a character delivering a soliloquy talks to themselves, thinking out loud, as it were, so that the audience better understand what's happening to the character internally. So we call it the internal conflict. The internal conflict that makes the character so much wants to show the readers how he feels or she feels. That's a soliloquy. Do we have a soliloquy in any famous classic? Yes, we do. Hamlet and Julius Caesar are excellent examples for soliloquy. Soliloquy versus monologue again, for compare and contrast. Soliloquy, the act of talking to oneself, or a dramatic monologue that represents a series of unspoken reflections. The difference is that soliloquy is the character speaking to himself or herself without awareness of the presence of others. In a drama, it's usually a device meant to reveal the character's innermost thoughts. It's talking while the character is alone, or as if they are alone. For example, is this a dagger which I see in front of me, with its handle pointing towards my hand? Come, let me hold it. I can't hold it, but I can still see it. That's in Macbeth soliloquy. Then what about the monologue? Let's find out about the monologue. It's a long speech, monopolizing conversation. The speaker of the monologue, while monopolizing the conversation, is speaking to others. For example, this is pointless. You know, I will not leave. I never do. I never have. I'm a constant. I'm the unifying feature. I am the unimpeachable truth. Why did you come to hear me? Why did you come to hear me speak, if not to listen to what I say? Do not invite me. Do not invite me in and then snivel for me to leave. You're please don't move me. I'm live. Without me, there is nothing. Amazing monologue. Okay, I adore monologues, I have to confess. So, if you like Monologue versus Soliloquy Part 2 monologue, please don't forget thumb up and comment if you have any comment. I'll answer your comment. Share to others. That's really good. Do not forget, please, to subscribe. I'll see you pretty soon for another part of Monologue. Good luck.